All right, you guys. So Ticket TV, man. Salute to everybody that's tapping on in. Like, share, and subscribe. Once again, the link to this article will be pinned at the top of the comment section. Make sure y'all check out the article, full article. The link will be pinned at the top of the comments. Or in the description box. And you'll be able to donate to the Cash App, PayPal if you want. If you guys like the channel, the content we put out, you can subscribe to the podcast show. Also, you can get our free membership to the website. That link is in the description and in the comment section pinned at the top as well. As you can get the weight loss formula. That link is in there as well. So salute to everybody who support everything we got going on. Y'all already know. Let's get right to the funk. So, escort, sex worker, Clayton Howard, who basically was an escort, who was a male dancer, who ended up getting involved with Diddy and Cassie, has now come out with his tell-all story. Now, he did a lawsuit where he had a tell-all lawsuit. People are trying to shoot holes through his story and saying that he has a criminal record and that his criminal record should destroy his credibility. But I have taken a disagreeable approach to this. Me listening to him before and then reading his lawsuit and then listening to him, I did a video on here a couple weeks ago. And I've already stated I believe all his allegations. I believe everything he's saying. And the reason why I believe it is because he's not trying to, he's got smoke for both sides. It's not like he's, you know what I'm saying, the only thing he's doing is saying that, look, this is what I seen from Cassie's perspective as well, from what I seen. People have to remember, they have to put in context. He was only there for the freak offs. All the other time Cassie and Diddy was together, he wasn't there to witness whatever happened, right? So he has a right to say, hey, look, Cassie looked like she was involved. Cassie was participating. Cassie was doing all these things. Why? Because when he was there, that's what he saw. So if that's what he saw, you can't tell him to make up something he didn't see. He's telling you what he saw in a time frame of him being there and how he saw it. And I believe him. He has a photogenic type of memory. And I believe it. I don't think you can just sit on the fly, make all that stuff up verbatim, word for word, how he made up. You know how hard it would be to make all that stuff up? Just lie. You know what I'm saying? And some people, like I said before, and I've said this in my videos, but I think a lot of people miss this when I say this in my videos from the very beginning. You're going to be disappointed in Cassie because I told everybody that was listening to this channel, Cassie sold her soul, and people got mad at me for saying that. She did. When you go and get involved in that type of industry and put yourself in those situations, that is selling your soul, because now you're doing things you normally wouldn't do in order to be around that success, to be around that money. Cassie's bills was being paid. She was living a comfortable life. You know what I mean? Now, does that mean that she deserved to get the beatings and stuff? Hell no. Diddy's a foul dude. He's a sick individual. He's a disgraceful dude. He introduced her, and we know he introduced her to a lot of their foolishness. You know what I'm saying? But tell me who was whooping on her ass before she got with Diddy like that. I'm waiting on somebody to come out and say it. Right? And that's not right. Regardless of what you think, that shit ain't right, bro. You don't treat people like that. And I'm always going to stand by that. And I'm always going to stand for that. I think Diddy is scum of the living earth. I think he is a mass manipulator. And I think that he, he's very intelligent as well. Because him having these women do these things for him, now everybody can say, oh, the chicks was doing it. Hey, man, they're the ones that was going to do this. They're the ones that was going to do where they was getting the money from. Where they was getting the instructions from. If Cassie and Jane Doe and just say Cassie, let's stick with Cassie. If Cassie was so complicit, why would Diddy need domestic violence against her ever? Domestic violence is used to control a person, to coerce a person doing what you want them to do. That's why you beat on a person, right? Think about what I just said. But nobody asked that question. Nobody says, well, why did Diddy need to beat on her? Was he just beating on her for the hell of it? Or was he beating on her because he wanted her to do what he wanted her to do? And she had a little bit of rebellion in her. These are all things we got to talk about and think about. But let's get to it, you guys, as we're tapped in right now. So, he went on my brother Art of Dialogue's YouTube channel. Shout out to my boy Art of Dialogue, man. Almost at 1 million subscribers, man. Putting in hella fire work. Salute to the brother Art of Dialogue, man. Great channel, great content, great interviews, great everything. You know what I'm saying? Salute to the homie, man. Much love to him for doing great things over there. But he did an interview with Clayton Howard, and Clayton Howard reiterated these same things that was in the his lawsuit. He reiterated them in this interview. Now, in this interview, he accuses Cassie and Diddy of sex trafficking him and drugging him. He says Diddy drugged him so bad one time at Frozen, and he says that the real persons that was getting trafficked was the male prostitutes, the male sex workers, the male escorts. He said they're the real ones that was getting sex trafficked by Cassie and Diddy. Right? You have to listen to what he says. But see, Diddy's team is saying, oh, we didn't sex traffic anybody. So if Diddy's team, you can't use part of what he says and say, hey, man, well, that is true. What he's saying about Cassie's true, but what he's saying about Diddy's a lie. No, what he's saying about Cassie is true, ain't what he's saying about Diddy true too? Because he's saying that with a straight face. See, it's easy to take his story for everything you want to hear him say on his story. But the things you don't want to hear him say, now you ain't going to talk about that. Right? This is how society is. So he over there giving Cassie that work. And I've already heard it because I've already read his whole lawsuit. So yeah, he giving Cassie that work. But he giving Diddy that work too. That man said Diddy drugged him and gave him something that damn near put him out. And he said that Diddy and Cassie both should be charged with sex trafficking because he said he spoke with other workers and they all had the same stories. Now I'm going to let y'all hear what he had to say on my brother Art of Dialogue's channel.
Abortion. And if I'm not mistaken, Cassie, she's the one that gave you Molly for the first time. And Diddy, he's the one that gave you the pink cocaine, right? Yeah. Cassie kind of drugged me like I told you about earlier. Cassie actually did drug me, but Diddy's drugging me was with that Tunchi stuff. I believe it was Tunchi now because of what it did to me. And the funny part is that I was talking to one of the male providers today, and he actually told me when he heard me talking about how Diddy drugged me, he remembers how Diddy drugged him. Diddy did this to a lot of people. Like the real Rico was the male prostitutes. It wasn't Jane and Cassie. It was the male prostitutes who Cassie, Jane, and Diddy manipulated into these situations. Because we all have the same story. I'm pretty sure you could agree because you've interviewed, what, 2 or 3 of us by now? We pretty much all got the same story.
Really what he's saying is kind of true. Because they're dancers, right? You got male dancers, these type of workers. You bring them in, and then when they come in, you know, you have drugs, you have these other things, and then you want to get them into having sexual activity for money. You know what I mean? And he's saying that they filling them up with drugs and stuff like that, which just takes their mind and their whole body to a whole different place. And, you know, he's also spoken incidents in his lawsuit where he alleged that Diddy told Cassie to go get the gun and that he was going to pistol whip him for non-compliance. You know, things like that. So, I mean, all this stuff is out there. You guys can go read that whole article. Let's keep going.
Diddy gave me the Molly, basically telling me that if I didn't take it, Cassie would get mad. So now I only took a little bit of it because, again, I'm not a big drug person, and I really just wanted to satisfy him and get him out of my face. So I said, all right, give me a little piece. It's Diddy. He's a billionaire. I've known him 5 or 6 years by now. He's never tried to hurt me. We had that one encounter where he asked me about the homosexual thing, but he paid me $5,000 and never did it again. So I really had no reason not to trust him. I take this substance, bro. I don't even think it took 30 minutes. This thing rocked me, bro. Yo, it rocked me. I remember I was hot. I was sweating. I was throwing up. I couldn't walk. I crawled across a 5-star hotel room to the bathroom to throw up in the toilet. I was so weak. This might have went on maybe 30 minutes, bro. I just threw up everything I had inside of me. Even water, liquid, everything came out. I finally get up. I managed to regain my strength. I go back in the living room. I'm sweating profusely, bro. Diddy comes out. First thing he noticed is, what's wrong with you? I say, yo, whatever you gave me, bro, not good. It's me up. I need to go. Cassie comes out. She sees me. She says, oh, my God, what's wrong with you? I said, yo, I need to get out of here. Whatever he just gave me, it got me twisted. She says, yo, what did you give him? He said, you know, I gave him the pink stuff. I gave him some Molly. And she looked at him and just did this. And I said, yo, he said he gave me Molly. I never had nothing like this. She said, it's because it's not Molly. And I was like, what? But I'm so high, I can't really do anything about it because, bro, I was out of it. I could barely grasp my reality at this point. So they tell me, be careful. Diddy gives me like $1,500, which is the lowest amount he ever paid me. He gave me $1,500 after he drugged me with a substance that completely tore me from limb to limb. They tell me to be careful. They direct me to sneak out of the Trump International in Central Park West through the back staircase, which I did. Bro, I'm completely out of it, bro. I can barely stand. I'm sweating. It's December. It's December, bro. I got a coat on. I'm pouring sweat in the middle of Manhattan. Not a good look for a black man, bro. Not. I can't catch a cab. The cab drivers are seeing me. They riding by me. I'm nervous as hell. I can't figure it out. So I start walking down. I believe it was Broadway I tried to get to. I start walking towards Broadway, bro, just to get out the area. By the time I realized where I was in Union Square. Um, uh, yeah, messed up, bro. Sweating. I was so out of it at this point getting to Union Square. I found like a little alcove on a side street. And I don't know if you've ever been in New York and you see like the homeless people sleeping in the side street in like a little alcove or like a department store, like a Macy's exit door or something. That was Dave, curled up in the corner of like a Macy's exit door. It might have been Old Navy I was at actually, in the corner like a homeless man sweating, not being able to figure out what the hell I'm doing. I call my bro. I say, yo, bro, I'm messed up. I need you to come get me in the city. I share my location with him. Like 30 minutes later, he gets there. He says, yo, you look terrible. He took me to the doctor. The doctor wanted to run all these tests on me, but I got scared because I knew what I had taken. So I leave. And I spend like the next 3 or 4 days just trying to recover and get it back. The other guy I talked to, he told me the same experience happened to him when Diddy drugged him. The exact same effects that I went through, whatever Diddy gave him, the same thing happened to him too. Yup.
So he's saying that the other guy told him the same thing. See, people got to realize this stuff that's going on. He's saying once again that the other worker told him the same thing. That's the crazy part about that right there. So if you're talking to the other sex worker, he told you the same thing happened to him. What do y'all believe? I believe what he's saying. You don't make all this stuff up just off the brain, specific details going back down the stairs at a hotel, this, that, and third, sweating profusely in December in the coat. Man, listen, bro. I believe this dude, bro. You know what I mean?
Whatever Diddy gave him, the same thing happened to him too. Yup.
Insane. And to go back to Cassie, you said that she used to have the sheets all soaked up, right? During freakos?
Yeah, bro. Like that was the biggest expense I would see. Like they.
So yeah, man. He basically, came with those allegations straight like that. And then in his lawsuit against Diddy and Cassie, he basically stated, and this is in the article as well, right? I want everybody to remember this is in the article as well. Um, he claimed that he was hired by Diddy and Cassie in '09 to participate in the freak-offs, drug-fueled sexual gatherings involving multiple partners. He alleges that these encounters, which continue for more than 5 years, were part of a scheme where he was trafficked across state lines for commercial sex used as entertainment to satisfy their sexual fetishes and personal ambitions. Now, he accused them of maintaining a toxic and abusive relationship with him, caught in the crossfire, right? Now, his lawsuit details specific claims of manipulation, coercion. He alleges that Cassie convinced him to take X. Then y'all heard the story with what he said Diddy gave him, which he thought was Molly, but it wasn't that. It was something else. Bro, this dude, man, like I said before, there's a whole bunch of different allegations against Cassie. And he's been going the hardest on Cassie out of all the escorts. But he also went in on Diddy too, saying that Diddy one time went and picked up and told Cassie to go get the gun. He was gonna pistol whip him for not non-compliance and things like that. And so he's saying that the real sex trafficking victims are him and the other sex workers. Now, it's a reason why Diddy's legal team did not put him on the stand. They could have subpoenaed him and put him on the stand as a witness, and he'd have told Cassie up. Here's the problem. he'd have told Diddy up too, and Diddy would have got found guilty. Why? Because Cassie got immunity. Simple as that. So that is the reason why Diddy's legal team had to take the gamble they took and hope that the jury, which they did, bought their story, that, oh, this is all domestic violence and there's nothing else to see here. When, if you're Cassie and you're complicit in everything Diddy wants you to do, why would he ever need to use domestic violence? Why would he ever need to physically control a person if she's going to do whatever he wants her to do? Makes no sense, does it? Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Salute to everybody that's tapped on in. Like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate everybody, man. If y'all want to donate to the stream, y'all can. Cash App, PayPal link pinned at the top, man. And don't y'all forget to go to our channel and check out our other videos we drop. Salute to all of you guys. Go to the website. Y'all get a free membership. The link is in the description box below to get the free membership. And it's in the comment section pinned at the top. So make sure y'all go check all that out. Let me know what y'all feel, man. Salute. Hey, I really appreciate you guys for supporting the channel, supporting the network. Like, share, and subscribe. Once again, there are links. Get the free membership on our website. That way you guys won't miss any of our news update stories or videos. They're all on the website, ticketvmedia.com. You go over there. You can go right to the members part and become a free member. That way you guys will get all the updates. Also, straight drop weight loss formula. Make sure y'all go tap in and copy some of that, as well as subscribing to our podcast show. Link will be pinned at the top of the chat down there below. And also, we just appreciate all y'all who support the channel. Cash App, PayPal.